Hey YouTube, it's Drip. It's been a little while since I posted anything, like a week or two, and I just took a shower, so my hair is wet. Anyway, sometimes you go so long, or I go so long without posting a video on YouTube that there's too much to put into one video, so I'm not going to burden you with all of it, just going to give a quick list. Baby Smith. It's on loan. That's it. It's just this little baritone uke that was given to me for the summer. Anyway, a person from my church is moving, and they need a place to store this, and they didn't want to just leave it on a shelf somewhere, and they knew that I was curious, and this baritone uke is, I believe this is a baritone uke, is essentially a guitar. So, I can play it, sort of. I mean, like I can play a guitar, which is, well, sort of. I've got a lot to do, a lot to learn. In other news, I will be in Pasadena at the end of this month. If you are anywhere near Pasadena, California, and you would like to get together, I would love to meet like at a coffee shop or something and actually meet some YouTubers face to face. We can record it if it helps people feel like they're still in the YouTube community. If it helps them, there goes Sly. The cat that just went from over here. Yeah, anyway. If it helps, bring a camera. We can make a video and show people that we actually exist in the flesh. What was the other thing? Oh, some work-related stuff. I'm going to try to post this as a video. I attended a funeral service, a memorial service for indigent people in Chicago. It's a few weeks ago now, and I've been meaning to do this. It's a long list of names of people who are buried in the Potter's Field in a Chicago suburb, who have no family, who are too poor to afford a grave. We still bury them, and there's a ministry of providing funeral services for these people, even though it's usually the minister standing alone by the graveside. I attended this funeral listing of all these names. It was incredibly moving. And I'm going to share it somehow. I'm going to work that out, but I just thought I'd put that out there. If you have access, if you can do this, if there is some way that you would want to participate in this kind of activity, this ministry, this charity, find out where the homeless people, the poor and the homeless and the destitute, the people who are without family are buried in your community. Pay the grave visit, drop a flower, figure out who the names are. There is a place, there's got to be somebody, whether it's through a church or through the municipality. They'll have a list of names. It's worth your time. Okay, yeah, anyway. Finally, I owe her a longer post than this. We've been talking about the Bible. Miss Pac-Man 08 and I have been talking about the Bible. Miss Pac-Man has given a couple of really interesting posts. You should check them out on her page. Holy cow. Smart people talking about God. We need more of that. It's just an idea. I'll float out there for you, Miss Pac-Man. What do you think of the concept of grace? Let me know what you think about grace. If you believe that there's this thing called grace, how you tinker with it, how you think about it, if you've thought about it. And then run that upside the concept of guilt and see what you come up with. Personally, just so I show some of my cards, I think guilt is a healthy emotion when it's healthy. It's like anything else. Fear is healthy. You should be afraid of firearms pointed at your head. Some fear is really healthy. Some guilt is healthy. Love is healthy. Emotions come because we have emotions. The trick is knowing where that line is from health to pathology. I think fostering a guilty conscience is unhealthy, but fostering a healthy sense of guilt, an appropriate moment of guilt, the ability to recognize one's responsibility to humanity, your neighbor, your lover, your sibling, and recognizing that when you fail that sense of responsibility, guilt is appropriate. I think that's a sign of maturity. Walking through life as if you have no connection, as if there is no such thing as guilt, is problematic. And by guilt, I don't mean that I hate myself stuff. It's the I failed somebody. Yeah, there's one more thing about that, and this should be a longer post. But there are practices of descriptions, suggestions, suggested disciplines in Christian scripture about how to forgive. You go to somebody, they've hurt your feelings or whatever, you go to them. You bring up the issue, you try to work it out. If that doesn't work it out, it expands into include the whole community. What Scripture says about forgiveness in God is not that you have to, it's interesting. There's this whole thing that you have to go out and seek God's forgiveness, but a lot of people don't realize how you're supposed to seek God's forgiveness. Scripture says if you want to be forgiven by God, you must learn first to forgive. Do you know how to forgive people when they hurt you? If you want forgiveness from God, you got to learn to forgive one another. I think this is one way that grace plays out. I think this is one way we learn to love one another. Christianity, in spite of its utter failure to do this, says that we're supposed to love everybody, including our enemies, including the people who want us dead and who will kill us. We're supposed to love them, not tolerate and generally put up with or stick in a ghetto somewhere. We're supposed to love them. Then forgiveness can come. So, yeah, guilt. I think it's good for us. But guilt and low self-esteem are not the same thing. All right? Yeah, so that's what I got. This is 7 minutes, and I've blathered on enough. I hope you're having a good day. It's a Friday, and I don't have to be in the office, so I'm at home, and yeah, and kicking around. Just doing stuff. It's fun. I'll talk to you later. Scriptor. Everything fits.